welcome to another episode of Behind the Dreamers. I'm Jennifer Loading, and we are talking to the achievers, the creators, the magic makers, and the dreamers. These are our friends, these are your friends, and they are living the extraordinary. Well, today we are back in studio, so we've got Chloe here, exciting. So we might get to hear from him a little bit today, always fun. And then we've got a guest here, which I just think is always fun. So my guest, just to give you guys a little teaser real quick, if I can get my papers together, we'll be good. She's been an event producer for over 30 years. She's witnessed thousands of speakers step on stage, and she says totally missed the mark, not by intention, but because they failed to engage the audience. She's brought her knowledge, skills, and experience to speaking professionals so she can help educate, inform, and help them share their genius on stage. My tongue is tied today. We didn't have to say orthomolecular today. My tongue is still tied today. That's okay. But before we get her on here, we do want to do a shout out to our sponsors. So today's episode is brought to you by Walt Mills Photography. If you are a creator needing post-production, consultation, or promotion, Walt Mills is your guy. Whether short films, YouTube films, photography work, or a new headshot, he can help you find a solution to fit your needs. To learn more about Walt and his work, go to photosbywalt.com. We also want to give a shout out to our friend Chris Clow of Upbeat Media Productions. If you are in need of turnkey special event production, Clow is your go-to. You can learn more about him and his work at upbeatmediapro.com. All right, I think we're ready to get our guest on. What do you think, Chloe? Are we good?
Absolutely.
All right, this is going to be exciting. I'm excited to chat with her today. Toni Caruso has brilliantly managed and successfully organized engaging events, small and large, for the entertainment, corporate, and business-to-business world. She says speakers fail to engage their audience because they are unclear, and their rapport and connection with the audience is simply a ho-hum. Toni knows this world like the back of her hand and wants to guide speakers and teach them how to effectively transform their audience and maximize their impact while creating a community of raving fans.
Yay.
So welcome to the show, Toni.
I am so excited to be here.
We're excited to have you.
Yeah, I love in studio. It's so much better than the Zoom.
I agree with you,
a lot more
too.
personal, more energy.
Yeah, I agree with you too. Zooms are great, but I think you just get more energy when you're, face to face. And Chloe just brings, the little extra added touch.
Well, he has been nothing but entertaining for the last 15 minutes, so I tell you.
That's great. I left these two. I showed up late, left these two to have conversation, and they had plenty without me, so it's all good, right?
It's all good.
It's all good. All right, so I want to open this up. I want to talk a little bit about what you're doing, because obviously you're helping speakers, in which we know this is important, right? And I always share this story. I know Chloe has heard it. And I probably shared it with you. Maybe I didn't. But, I took public speaking in college. And I always laugh about this because I shared it with our friend Cheryl Powers, whom which we know she was on the show before. And I told her, I said, I took this public speaking course in college way back when. And I remember having to get up and do this impromptu speech. I had these little, index cards. I had these little index cards with my notes on it. And I got up there and I got done and I sat down and I said, I will never do that again. That was like the end of it. Like I never was going to do that again. And then I somehow went into this network marketing space and, Mary Kay, the pink bubble world. And we had to start doing presentations. And so I had like 20 something years in that industry. Taught me a lot about how to get up in front of people and talk. And then I had to train. So This is a real fear for a lot of people, right? It's a real thing.
Well, they say it's the number one fear.
Yeah. And so
it's over death.
Over death, really?
Fear of speaking is higher on the list than dying.
Really? And I believe
so basically, you'd rather be in the coffin than the one giving the eulogy, is what Jerry Seinfeld always said.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Well, you help people with this, and that's what I want to talk about. You help people get better at speaking, get up there so they can get out of that ho-hum and build rapport and engage those audience. So tell us a little bit about how this came about for you.
Okay, so long story short, I was born, and I'm going to tell you, I'm going to go back there. I'm going there.
Go there.
I'm going there.
I like it. I was born. We're starting there.
I was born an eventaholic, is how I say it. I was born in July. My birthday's July 30th. So it's right in the middle of the summer.
Yeah.
And this is the days before there were emails and text messages and such. And so you sent out invitations for your birthday. Well, in the middle of the summer, you're not in a classroom. You play with just the kids in the neighborhood. You don't have that group. So I would have my birthdays, and the 7 people that would come over and swim in our Doughboy above ground pool in the backyard would come on my birthday, and we'd have ice cream and cake, and I'd get presents. I mean, that was pretty much my birthday. Well, my sister is April 2nd. And she was right in the midst, and they'd have like 50 kids and huge parties, and she'd have all these gifts and these themes. And I'm like, I was getting screwed, basically, because I was in July. So I decided as I got older that I was going to start promoting my birthday before school was out and start doing themes and roller skating parties and all these different things. So I started doing my own events at a very early age to benefit myself, to get more presents, and have better birthdays. Yeah. So I think it was kind of inbred in me that when I started in the business world, I would do all the holiday parties and the meetings and the conferences. So I built this knowledge of doing events before there was anything called event planners or event meeting planners international. That wasn't a job. And then as I got older, I was able to find those positions and do those businesses, and then got into it through women that I met that were great coaches and wanted to do events. So then I was doing their events and built this amazing Caruso Signature Events business. And 2020 hit. And of course, everything died, everyone, And on the side, I was helping speakers on my little academy for speakers. I do little workshops and stuff on the side. Well, I was told by Sandra Yancey, the founder of eWomen, that maybe that's where I should focus. So I started a coaching business, and I built that business up. And then when I moved here from California to Dallas, eWomen brought me on, and I've taken over their eWomenSpeakerNetwork. Okay. Because I believe, I walk into a room and I'll say, hey, how many of you are speakers? And maybe half the room raises their hand. And I'm like, everybody should have their hand up. Everyone's a speaker. When you're talking one-on-one or you're talking one-to-many, you need to know how to message, how to share your knowledge and your information, and not coming across as in a salesy, slimy kind of way, So I've taken it upon myself to teach speakers the business of speaking. Because it's a business, there are actual rules, there are things you need to follow, but nobody teaches you that. You just go, oh, I booked a job, and I got up on a stage, and I'm in the back of the room as the event planner going, what's she doing? Why is she talking? Like, that's not what we had planned that she was going to talk about. She's selling from the stage. She's not supposed to sell from the stage, So It's like I've started seeing that people were falling in these holes, and they weren't being asked back because they did things wrong. And I just realized that they don't know what they don't know.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like my mission to go, oh, okay, I'm going to teach them what they need to know. So because there are so many great female speakers that aren't given the opportunities. It's a very male-dominated world. And, you go to these women's events, and you sit in the audience, and you have 5 or 6 men go up on stage, and they're telling you how to have relationships and build relationships with women to do your business. And it's like, you don't know how to do it,
Yeah.
I kind of, that was a long way around, but
no,
that's
like
a lot of information.
No, it's good. It's good. I know. And it's interesting because I feel like, yes, speaking, you have to speak one-on-one. You're still speaking. It's kind of like sales. You know how people get hung up? We just put out a podcast this week with Brian Flanagan, and we talked a lot about sales. And it's so funny because I think he made a comment about the people that are good actually admit they're in sales, because most people will go, I'm not really in sales, but we are in sales.
We're selling ourselves.
Exactly. Every day.
Every day. And the fact that you say, oh yeah, I never want to do that again. I don't want to speaker. Every day you're here. You're speaking,
Exactly.
And you're selling your podcast, or you're selling your business, or you're selling your kid when they have to sell all those candies and stuff through school, whatever it is. Or even when you're making friends, you are selling who you are. Yeah. And if you're not authentic about that, and if you don't own your authenticity, it comes across wrong, and the message gets muddled, and you're wondering why does she not like me? Why didn't he ask me out for a date again? Why are they not buying my products? It's because you're trying to be somebody you're not.
Yeah, I think you hit on the authenticity thing. Were you going to say something, Chloe?
No, not at
he's
all.
thinking. No, I think he'll usually just jump right in when he's ready. But sometimes he's looking like he was kind of thinking over there or something. Like, is he thinking something needs to come out?
My brain automatically went to the movie with Julia Roberts and Hugh Grant.
Notting Hill?
Yes,
Notting Hill.
Hill.
I'm just a girl
just a
standing
girl.
in front of a guy.
Trying to sell my Mary Kay. No, it's true. And I'll say to people, they go up there and, you're talking to them in the back of the room, and you're putting their mic on them, and they're all just friendly and everything. And then they walk on stage, and it's like, hi, I'm Toni.
It's so
it's just like, who are you? you? Why did
Yeah.
you switch?
Right. It's like a complete. That's why I always tell people, like, I have 2 speeds. It's either like full throttle or I'm down for the
Yeah.
count. You're not going to see anything in between. So if I'm like this now, I'm probably going to be the same on stage, or I'm just not.
Well, it's funny you talk about that, and there's so many speakers that I've worked with over the years, and there's certain guys that will have tics, and I have to monitor it really well because it'll come through a mic and sound awful if you don't monitor. Because I have this one guy that he's the CEO of Interstate Batteries, and he will do this thing throughout the whole entire thing. He'll talk, and when he slows down, you hear him go, and I'm like just pulling it, like, nope, okay, well, nope, and it's like, bro, you gotta figure that one out, man. I was like, because no one wants to hear that.
No, and it's also body language.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
yes.
97% of what you do is nonverbal. So I was at an event, and a dear friend, love him to death. He's an amazing human being. He's up on stage and he's speaking, and he keeps grabbing his belt and lifting his pants up and lifting his pants. And it was like, did he lose a lot of weight? Is the belt not tight enough? You know. And I must have had 10 people come up to me and go, "You need to talk to him about that belt thing," because that's all you focused on.
Right, because you just kept seeing it.
Yeah. And so you have to understand that you, like women, you need to be comfortable in your clothes. Don't wear high heels that you can't walk in.
Right.
You know, because on the stage, those things are what people will focus on. And if you are uncomfortable, they're uncomfortable. Right. And they need to understand that the audience wants to love them.
Yeah.
You know, when you're getting up there, I'm always like, they want to love you. They want to learn something. They're not here to criticize you. They don't go, I'm going to go to that conference. I'm going to get up there and I'm going to listen to the speakers and I'm just going to, you know, they want to love you and they want to learn something. So just bring the best you and understand it is not about you as a speaker. It has nothing to do with you. You are there to share a message with an audience that maybe 20% in the room are going to relate to, and they're going to want to know more about you. Mm-hmm. That's your job. Your job is not to entertain, make them laugh. Yes, that's engaging. That's part of it. But your job is to give them information that can either make their life better, their position better, their business better, whatever it is, and to understand that whatever that host is asking you to do and whatever the theme of the event is, stick with it and be very positive and ask the host, like, what do you want me to focus on? I have a great story. Les Brown. You know who Les Brown is, right?
Yes, know who Les Brown is.
Love Les Brown. Now, he was speaking at an event, and I was the event planner, so I went back and got him in his hotel room, and as I'm walking him from the hotel room to the backstage, he's asking me questions. So what's the audience like? I go, well, it's about 60% men, 40% women. Where are they in business? Well, they're entrepreneurs. Most of them are kind of just starting out, first 5 years. Where are they financially? Oh, they're struggling. It's a money mindset, especially with women. Women don't charge enough for what they do. They're always discounting themselves. You know, and we're having this conversation. He's asking me these questions. So they announce Les Brown. He gets on stage. I'm in the back of the room, and I get goosebumps. Brilliant. Mm-hmm. He hit every single one of those things that he asked me. He addressed them from the stage, and the audience was riveted. Mm-hmm. If you can do that, that's amazing. But if you can't, ask the event host. So who's the audience? Who are going to be there? What do you think they're like? What are they looking for? What do you want me to share? And if you can bring that, and you bring that in a really positive, engaging way, that event host is going to go, oh, they're coming back. And those people are going to go, she was amazing. I want to know more about her. That's what my goal is, to make speakers like that, so that it's not, oh, I'm going to go and I'm going to pay $5,000 to get on the stage and I'm going to sell my $10,000 program to at least 20% of the room so I can walk away with $50,000. You know, if you're thinking that way, you're going to fail.
This is good. You know what? Did you want to say something? Because I was just going to say, the client focus is what I'm getting out of this. It's, you know what I mean? Like, we talk about this all the time. You said it's not about you, right? It's not. The way to get I think it's in sales, it's in anything. The way to get the people is you've got to figure out a way to solve their problem. And whether that's speaking, your product, whatever that is, whatever the messaging is. So I think you kind of hit that. And that's what I'm getting on all of this is take yourself out of the equation.
Right.
Your audience, you need to entertain your audience in some way. You've got to get them engaged, get them paying attention, get them listening, or you're not coming back.
So I've explained that to a lot of speakers. I was like, you got to be like a DJ.
Right.
I know you have to read the room. Mm-hmm. And if they're dancing, you're doing a great job. Bam. If they're not on the dance floor, you suck. I was like,
we just said it.
I go, and that's kind of how it goes. We were doing was it the American Environmental Association forum, and this guy gets up there, and he had a lot of great information, but he was so ridiculously boring.
Oh gosh.
And he goes, well, how did I do? And I go, man, I got to be honest, you were kind of putting everybody to sleep. And he was like, really? And I was like, yeah, like no one was, I mean, you lost everybody because you were using big words about, if you just said wasp instead of the Latin term for
the
it.
Latin term
I was like,
for it,
no one's going to, next time he came up, killed it.
Killed it.
He like literally just dumped everything out of his brain. He goes, how many of y'all have problems with wasps? And everyone's like, yeah. And he goes, let me tell you something. Don't spray them. Don't irritate them. If you want to move them, they are not going to bite you. You're not going to harm you, sting you. You want to go up, you grab their homes, and you move them to where you don't want them by your house. They will not
Okay,
bother
I just learned something.
you. Yeah. And like when he,
Every day. Every time
Thank
we do
you.
an ep-
Thank
every time
you.
we
I
do an
needed that.
episode.
it was like that. And I was like, dude, you killed it. That was great.
Yeah.
Like everyone was listening to what you said, and I took something away from it.
So it's like, I always tell people, dumb it down. Dumb it down.
Yeah.
Don't use acronyms unless you are an academic in front of a bunch of academics because they like all that crap.
Right.
But dumb it down, make it easy for the audience, and don't vomit information. Don't give them so much. Like, I just want to share with them. I want to give you all of it. No, give them 3 really good, juicy things and go really deep on it so that they can learn something and walk away that they can handle. If you give them, this is my 20-step plan to build your business in 40 days,
Yeah,
wonder.
no.
It's too much. They're going to go out. They're going to take that 20. They're going to never look at it again. 3 things. Don't give them too much stuff. And always remember that facts tell, stories sell.
Yep.
So you'll have to tell stories. Bo Eason, I don't know if you're familiar with him.
Who?
Bo Eason.
I've heard the name.
Okay, Bo Eason was an ex-NFL player, and he
Okay.
got tragically injured to where he couldn't play again. And he then did an off-Broadway one-man play, The Run to the Litter, I think that the name of it was. And he's worked with a lot of people about stage presence and how you tell stories, whatever. So I'd never met him. He was speaking at an event I was producing. So I'm in the back of the room, and he's like jumping up and down, getting his adrenaline going in the back of the room. And they say, Bo Eason, and he goes running up on stage. And that man spoke for 90 minutes. And I'm in the back of the room, and not one person in that audience took their phone out, took a note, moved. They didn't go to the bathroom, nothing, riveted. And all he did was tell stories. And it talks about, he says, there's no B plan. There's no B plan to your A plan or something. And it's about always going with the A plan. And if you want to do your best, you find the best person to teach you how to do that. You need to find out those people and it's all about his life. But I could tell his story, his 90-minute story to you right now because it was so memorable and it was like ingrained in me. And he moved around for 90 minutes on that stage. And it was just enthralling. He has some great videos. So if people want to look it up on YouTube.
Yeah, I'll definitely. Well, and I agree with you on the stories. And that is the one thing that I think I learned in the network marketing space was, nobody cares what you do until they know why you do it. So I've always come from that premise. But interestingly, I'm in a group right now. I've been working with a mentor since last November, just renewed my contract with him. And I'm actually building out a program right now. I'm like knee deep in it right now. And a couple of things that you said that are really resonating because they come in there is, the whole idea of the story, because what we're building out is kind of like this Netflix experience. And we know that you can tell people stuff all day long. It doesn't go in, but when they see something and they can resonate with something, then it like sticks in. So this program I'm having to build out is kind of like this whole idea of this Netflix experience. So that's kind of the big thing, take away is this whole idea of the stories. But also you mentioned, keeping just a few things when you're talking. And you're so right about that because I think sometimes as speakers, and I've done a lot of training, I did a lot, within the network marketing space, and did it in another company. We get up there and we have so much knowledge we want to give everybody, right? And what I've learned even from doing that, but also from working with this mentor is you can't give people what they need. You got to give them what they want.
Exactly.
Right? You got to give them what they want. So if they want to be entertained and they're at a place where they're going to be entertained, you going in there telling them what you think they need is never going to work out, right? And so I think you kind of hit that when you said the Les Brown. He asked you, what are they wanting? Right. What are the key things? That's what I'm going to make sure I cover.
Right.
And nothing else. Those pieces, and so that's what I think is a good reminder is just to be aware of what do you really need to be talking about when you're out there? What do these people want? Right? Do they want to know all that big word stuff?
And why you?
Exactly.
Why you? And I always say, and I have a speaker network, so we do trainings every month. And the one thing we started with was, can you tell me in 11 words what you do? Just 11 words.
good.
Because if you need a minute to tell me what you do, you've lost me.
You've lost, yeah.
Yeah. All you want to do is tell enough, like, I help speakers maximize their message, monetize their impact, and build a community of raving fans using stages. You know,
good.
whatever it is. That was just boom. What is it quickly so that people go, oh, I want to learn more. Tell me more. That's what you want. You don't want to tell them everything. But it's key to know, number one, like you told them why I was an event planner, so I've been in the back of the room. I've seen speakers. I've seen great ones. I've seen bad ones, you know, and I want to help speakers. That's my why. That's why me, but why you? What makes you uniquely qualified to solve the problem the audience has?
Good.
And
It's good.
it's key. It's like you need to figure it out, because it might be that you have the answer for them, but they're not resonating with you because you have to get that know, like, trust. And so they got to get to know you. So I always tell people, go to the event early, stay late, stay all the way through it. You usually close more deals in the bar, in the bathroom, and at lunch than you do from the stage.
Right.
And so be one of the community. That way they get to know you, they get to like you. You get up on a stage, now you're the expert. Now you're telling them why you do what you do. And now they're resonating with it because you went through this horrible divorce. Your husband left with the secretary and took everything you owned and left one night and took all the furniture out of the house. You came home, there was nothing there.
How did you know?
So that's why I help women with their finances and to understand the financial state they're in before that happens to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So why you? You've been through it. You understand me.
Yeah.
Instead of, you know, like a teacher that's been a teacher, and I don't want to say anything bad about teachers, but been in the academic world for 20 years, and they're going to come out and they're going to tell you how to run your nonprofit business. I mean, no.
Yeah.
What do you know of it, you know?
Right. Well, and that goes back to finding the right people
Right.
that are where you want to be, right? Like find the right mentors to talk to. Everybody's always got something to say about something, I feel like.
Well,
You know,
and if
this
your
is
coach,
good.
and if you want someone to be your coach, they better well have their own coach.
I agree. Bam, thank you.
Yeah, I mean,
all
it's
coaches
like-
have coaches.
Yes, and if they don't, then why should I pay you money? You're not paying anyone else to better yourself.
Exactly.
You know, so because you want
Thank
to
you
learn
for
from
saying
them.
that.
Oh, you're welcome. You didn't pay me for that.
That's so
That
important.
was a free one.
That is so important because I tell my clients that all the time. I'm like, I'm in a group. I have
Yeah.
a mentor. I have people that I work with because we all know if we're coaching other people to be better,
Right.
we got to continue working on us to be better.
Well, and the whole thing is you want to be the dumbest one in the room. If you're the
Exactly.
smartest one in the room, get out. You're in the wrong room. You're not learning anything.
Thank you for that too. I didn't pay for that one either, did I?
I'm
That
just
was
giving
good.
them away. I'm
She's
just giving them
she's
away.
giving them all away today. It's great.
I'm a giver. It's Thanksgiving.
There
It's
you
giving.
go. This is great. It's great. No, this is all good. I think this is all really good. And I think it, you know, like you said early on, people don't know what they don't know. And you're
Right.
right, because I know from working with women, you hit on earlier a little bit about, or touched upon about women not asking for, you know, their worth. And
Right.
that is a big
Huge.
thing for women. I don't know why men just, that doesn't even, it doesn't even register. Women, it's like the biggest.
I've been in eWomen Network since 2015, and the one thing I see constantly is like you go and like, oh, I'd like to pay for your services. Oh, well, I know you. I'll give you a 10%
Yes.
discount, or you know, I understand. No, I just said I wanted to pay for your services. I didn't ask for a discount. We're always discounting ourselves, and let me tell you, the people that you give your services or your products to for free are the ones that are going to cost you the most money.
That's Pareto principle.
100%.
What is it? 20% of the like work, the people produce 80% of
Yeah.
the results. You need
Right.
to remember that. I'm like writing about
Yeah.
that right now in my program.
I mean,
I'm, like,
just
on it.
stop doing it because they're going to
Yeah.
cost you time and money, and they're just going to feed off of you.
Yeah.
And so don't do it. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
Just because you want that one more client, no.
Well, and I think too, when you get to a place, like there's a couple things I could say about that. First of all, you never get rich off family and friends. So forget that thinking right now. Just forget that thinking altogether. I learned that in network marketing day
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Family and friends always want discounts and free. Forget that. But also, I think, with women, there's like so much baggage that goes with that, because I know for me personally, I don't have so much trouble with that now, but I did in the very beginning, even when
Right.
I moved into the coaching space, you know. And so I tell people, every time you give away free things, You do. You discount you. You want to take somebody from free to now selling a course.
Right.
You got $1,000 course, whatever. Mine's going to be more than that. But let's say you're just doing a, $1,000 course and you giving them a free ebook, and now you're going to $1,000. Now you're going from, I just gave you McDonald's, now I'm selling you steak.
Right.
How does that happen? It's not happen. Those are two different people.
Right.
Right? Like you're giving free and now you're trying to get them to buy. That's just not, you better be really good. You better be really, really good to go from there to there.
Now, I will use a discount to sign contracts
Yeah, that's different.
to start off.
Yeah.
Or there's a bonus.
Yeah.
Or you have some online
So,
course that you
which-
can bonus in that doesn't cost you anything.
Which is how I got in with the city of Plano.
Right.
When I was doing, the reason I'm the chairman of the board today
Yeah.
is because in 2014 or something, they had an event. Their production guy just completely dropped out on them the day before the event. I got a last minute call and they're like, hey, here's our budget. Can you do it? And I'm like, sure. Can we sign a contract for the event for the next 3 years? And they're like, absolutely. I was like, all right.
I think that's okay. I think that's different because you guys I think that's a larger thing and you can kind of negotiate. I think it's a little different like when we're in the coaching space.
Oh, I'm
I
sure.
feel like, you know what I mean? Because I feel like you have a price, but I think it gets back to really like what you feel your self-worth, because if that's an okay transaction for you, that's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I think it gets more back when we get into like nickel and diming, when
Right.
people
Oh,
are
yeah.
complaining about like, I used to in the Mary Kay world, we would have to, the only investment that anybody ever had to put into really was $100 for a
Right.
kit. And I would have people fret over that. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't want to sound tacky about this, but $100, if you can't swing that, that's tough. What are you going to do? Like, that would be my response. Like, what are you going to do? That's the least minimal amount you have to invest in a business, but a lot of people would come in too, and then they weren't really 100% vested because they really didn't have to invest anything, like
Right.
they could get in and not have to. So I think it all comes really back to our self-worth and what we value, what's important to us. Fractal starting conditions.
Well, it's like
You know?
eWomen. It's a one-time lifetime fee of $357. You pay it
Yeah,
once, then you pay it $19.95 a month.
Yeah.
If you can invest $357 into yourself to be in a room with supportive, amazing business owners, maybe there's 20 in the room, maybe there's 120 in the room, depending on the chapter. But you're a member of one chapter, you're a member of all of them.
Yeah.
If you don't see, because I get a lot of flash, oh, it's $357, and you're like, well, then you're not my people, number one, because that's a drop in the hat. I just paid for $1,500 for one networking group. They're
they're
pricey.
pricey. Yeah, they all
and
are.
There's people that just go to the free ones, and you get what you pay for,
Right, I
basically.
agree.
So people are always in the free ones looking for discounts and looking for connections or whatever, where what we do is we look at where are you now, where do you want to be, and what do you need to get there. I might not be the person for you, but I know somebody.
Sure.
So there might be 50 people in the room, but they each know 100 people. Right. So if you can network correctly and use your time well and be able to message what you do succinctly, you can work a room and you can build a business. Dustin, who we were talking about earlier, she's like tripled her business in 4 months just because of the connection she's found. So find the room. I'm not saying eWomen, but I'm saying find your community and then go all in on that community and make the most of it and just go in with a very giving heart that I just want to support everybody in the room. And you have no idea what's going to come back for you.
Yeah, this is good.
And that's just like a speaker. Go in with a very giving. I just want to give to this audience. I want them to walk away with maybe one or two really great little nuggets that they can do.
And you get a car, and you get a car,
That's right.
and you get...
That's right. You get a car. I have to be a little practical, you can't be too woo-y, right? The pixie dust thing. That's where I was come from.
My son in fifth grade, I think he had to be somebody, and he dressed up like the guy Hershey.
Yeah.
So we had gone into the classroom, which he got in trouble for later, and we put chocolate bars underneath each seat.
Oh, funny.
And then he goes, "Look under your seat. You get a candy bar. You get a candy bar." Yeah.
Funny.
It was so funny, but that
clever.
The kids loved it.
Yeah.
So find your thing and don't be sticky and don't do it, and just don't do your same talk every single place
time.
you go.
I think that goes back to reading your audience. I think that's where it's important. I taught aerobics many, many years ago, and it was kind of interesting because I used to always say that there would be places I would go in. They loved me no matter where I went. But like I taught at one facility where the Rockets used to train. I was in Houston, so I trained at one of the facilities there, and I'd have this little small teeny group. And I'm such an energy feeder and a giver. Like
Yeah.
it goes both ways for me. And so I'd go into these little places and where there wasn't a whole lot of energy. And so I had to read the room and kind of tone it down for those particular people. And then I'd go into like a place at Valley Total Fitness or 24 Hour, and I'd have like 50, 60 people
Right.
in a room, high energy. So we had to like crank it up, you know? And so I think what you said earlier about reading the room, if you, and that would be the case for me. If I'd go in there and like, I would be like, okay, how we doing? You know, nobody's responding. I'd be like, okay, we're gonna do 15 more jumping jacks. Now we're gonna see if you respond.
Well,
You know,
and let me ask you both, because it's something that bothers me, and it's kind of a trend right now, and I find it more with the men. Go turn to the person on your right and high five them and tell them you're an amazing person.
Oh.
Turn to the person on the left and tell them you are good enough. You know,
Yeah.
and it's like they're trying to energize the audience, and to me, that's just like it's so phony
To you.
and
Oh, yeah.
inauthentic.
I
You know,
agree.
I just didn't know.
if
It's
you're
just-
listening, don't do that.
it's like it's okay. It's like, hey, you know, high five the person next to you, or turn and we just wrote this answer. Share it with them and have a
Yeah.
conversation and do that. You can do those, but it's that constant like.
Yeah.
I feel like when I'm done, I'm exhausted. But
Well,
what
and
did I
when-
learn?
And when they do that to me, this is
You
how
feel
weird
weird?
my brain goes a little bit weird on that one. I'm like, I'm not high-fiving this guy. I don't know if he's a serial killer or a pedophile. Or,
Like, did he wash
I'm
his
not-
hands when he
Yeah,
got out of
That's what I
bed?
was thinking.
Are you kidding me?
You
I'm
and
not
I are in sync,
high-fiving
because
this
that's what
guy.
I was thinking. Did he wash his hands?
Yeah. It's just like I don't
Forget the
know
serial
who
killer.
this
I want to know where
person
your hands
is.
have been.
When I feel like I'm in Catholic church, you know,
Oh,
I turn to
yeah.
the people around you and say, "Praise the God" or "Praise God" or whatever.
Praise you, praise
Bless
you,
you, yeah,
praise
you know,
bless you.
which is okay, and
Yeah.
in church that's
Right,
okay, but
right.
it just seems a little. It seems contrite.
That's so
So
funny.
it's back to that authenticity.
Yeah, I think it's probably what you're really hitting on is just being authentic and being your real self. And I guess if you normally do that, I mean, then, you know, maybe that's what it is. That's how you normally, because, you know, there are people that get up on stage and like, I get bored very easily. I don't know
Yeah.
if you're like this. So there are a lot of speakers that go up. When I used to go to all the events, there would be like a lot of them. I would just,
Yeah.
and then there'd be that one person that would get up there and I'd be like, all of a sudden, like
Yeah.
I'm awake. Okay, talk to me, you know? But it's hard because there's so many things that you've said that I think are so important when they go on there. But I think that authenticity, because you just feel that. Like I know,
Right.
I feel it when people go up there and they're being like, really, this is their gift. Like
Yeah.
they've got this. Like they're being real. They can do this. They can speak from the heart, and people just listen.
Well,
you know?
and you know, don't stand behind a podium. Don't
Yeah,
ever have
oh, yeah,
anything
don't stand
between
behind
you
a
and the
podium.
audience. Don't have your notes in your hand, please. If you don't know your talk, don't have your. You know,
Yeah.
I was at a small luncheon. There was about 14 of us, and I didn't know that a friend of mine was actually speaking, and it was her first time speaking. And she got up and she had her notes, and she had them like this, and she had them in front, and she's reading,
Oh,
and
yeah,
she
I
gets to the
can't,
part
yeah.
where my sister died at the age of 50 from cancer, and
no.
and she's reading, and so afterwards I said, Patty, can I buy you a drink? And she's like, sure. And she sits down. I go, first of all, did great, wonderful. Second of all, get rid of the papers. I said, if you can't tell me the story of your sister dying from cancer without reading it off a piece of paper, then how am I supposed to believe you?
Right.
And I said, I understand that every word in that was so special, and you spent a lot of time because you wanted to use the right words.
Right.
Words don't mean anything. It's the emotion that's going to come across. So then 2 months later, I go to another event, and it turns out she's speaking at it again. She sees me walk in the door, and she just look on her face, and she had cards this
so-
time. So she'd done bullet points, which I asked her to do.
Sure.
I said, well, if you can't do it, do bullet points.
Right.
So she got up and she looked down, and then she looked right at me, and then she started talking, and she took the cards and put them down on the table and did her speech, and she was amazing. And I'm like,
Yes.
this is a crutch.
Yeah.
You don't need it
Right.
because no one knows what you're going to say. So if you make a mistake, nobody knows it. You
is
just
true.
keep going.
And if you're doing it from the heart, everyone's
Yeah.
going to hear your heart, and they're
Bam.
going to, even if you make a mistake, they don't care.
Bam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And people like, you'll see them on Shark Tank.
Right.
And all of a sudden it's like, they freeze because they had memorized everything and they forgot one word. And you forget one word when you memorize something,
Oh, yeah.
you forget the entire
Okay,
talk.
yeah.
But if you know the essence of the talk, I always say, write it all out
Yeah.
because it's a great way. Edit it down, then take it in your hand and walk your talk.
Yeah.
Just go out into nature and walk around and read it and make it more conversational. If you walk it, it gets in your body.
Yeah.
And then you bullet point it and go out and walk it again with the bullet points. And then once you've got it, it's in your bones. You've got the essence of it. You know that your point 1 is this, point 2 is this, point 3 is that. And I always say use an acronym. That way you can remember stage. S means speaking. T means timing. Whatever that is, so that it's easy to spell. If that's a way to like knock you into what's the next thing.
That's good.
Yeah, it's just those are little keys. And worst case scenario, I go off on tangents. So I like to have a PowerPoint because it keeps me on track. But one thought per screen. Like, do not do these things that build. Yeah.
You're not a tangent.
I'm definitely a tangent. I tell stories and I'll talk about a story and I'll get caught off on something else.
Do you bring it back in? I always bring it back in.
I can reel it back in.
I bring it back in.
And that's what I love about working with like comedian speakers that are, paid by whatever company's doing this event. They'll come up and they'll be like, what are we selling? Who's the audience? What are we doing? And what are some like faux pas? What should I not talk about? And I'm blah, 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 and they get up there and they kill it almost every time. And I respect that because it's like this guy walked in 15 minutes ago, had no idea who he was talking to, what he was doing, got up and just crushed it.
Yeah.
Well, and that's practice.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
So
of
it's
course.
practice. And you understand that you're going to make mistakes. So if you are not comfortable with who you are and what you do and how you serve, then you need to be doing it on your own stages. Do some video, some virtual events, 20 people in the room. I mean, it's better to fail in front of 20 than to get on that stage with 500 people and not know what you're doing. So practice and get better at it and do videos and watch yourself. And it's one of the hardest things I can do is to listen to myself or to watch myself. But you have to.
You do.
Because
I agree.
like you said, there are little ticks that you might not even know you have. I'm always got my hands going. So I always have to make sure that I know where the mic is because I've hit the mic
always saying super
so many
excited.
times.
That's my favorite. I joke.
Super excited.
I'm super excited.
It used to be 100%.
100%. I get on a word. Mine is I get on a word for a while, and then we're going to use it. Awesome. We did that one for a while.
Awesome is a word I use in emails a lot.
Yeah,
I try to go, ooh, what other word
you know
can
what
I
I've
use?
learned, though? You know why I do? What I've learned is that my languaging is always just positive languaging. And so huge, big, everything is large, 100%. Like, that's just my language. It's not excited. It's super excited. Super thrilled. Everything's big for me.
So everyone laughs at my emails because I make up words. Like, that is fabularific.
I do that sometimes.
like that.
Just little things like it's fabularific, or I'll do something. It's like, what was the other one I do? Like ginormous or something like. Oh God! But I'll just like throw out words. I'll make up stuff, and I'm like, this is what I feel right now. So this is what you're getting.
This is what's gonna get because
Yeah.
we're feely people. That's why we speak it like stories and emotion and all those things. It just you try to explain that to somebody who's not like that at all, and they just don't get it. You're like, this is how I communicate. It's big words and emotion.
I'm like I don't know if you've heard of BANK. It's a coding thing. B means you're a blueprint person. A is action, N is nurture, K is
I feel
knowledge.
like it's like kind of like a Colby or something.
Yeah, it's like that.
Something like
so
that. Yes.
I always tell people, I go, I'm an A. You're supposed to be like all four in order, and I'm like an A, B. And there is no nurture in me whatsoever. I'm not, if you want to get cuffy and feely and woo-woo-y, I am not your girl.
I like that about you, though. You're direct, and I like because I'm direct too.
Yeah,
I like that. I like direct, and I get. But you know what? Direct people scare people sometimes, right? Because we're just like we just say what we don't.
I had to
about
learn
it.
that, and here I'm at eWomen, and these women are coming up, and they're life coaches, and they're spiritual, and they've got their crystals and everything, and I have to like kind of amp it back down and go, I love those crystals. Tell me about the pink one. And I have to talk lower and everything, because I used to walk up and go, hey, so you do crystals. And they would be like, I am so out of it.
She would be my person because that's how I am. Like that, like you just said, I've had to learn that too. I learned that when I was in the network marketing because the DISC. And, you get like a C personality on, which I'm married to one. You get one of those on, they're very analytical and have to have
I'm married to one too.
Yes, they have to have facts and everything's got to be like this and like decisions take a while and I'm like, can you just make the freaking decision or do you need me to do it for you? Yeah. So you have to mirror the people. And so I've had to really learn that, we've had that. We've had people on here that have been really calm and so I have to take it down. We've had people that have been really excited. It's like a ping pong match in here,
Well, it was so I was talking to Walt who does the editing for the videos and Walt goes, in that last video, it was really hard to hear Jennifer. I was like,
Which
"Are you-"
one
I
was
was
it?
like, "Are you sure?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I go, "Well, because Walt, she was peaking. I mean, like literally, my meters were like going through the roof, so I had to turn her so far down.
Which video was
she'll
it?
get so it was when it was the Zig Ziglar guy,
Oh, Brian.
and
Vandy.
she'll get
See the
so
hat?
excited.
Oh no, Brian
Brian
Fenn.
Fenn.
Oh, I love
She'll
him.
get so excited. She's like, "Oh my God!" I just, and I'm like going, whoa,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
My
and
voice
you-
always carries.
And you
It
have to
always
know that
has.
on stage as well. Like,
Yeah.
that's why I always say, sit in the audience. Get there early, because then you can feel the audience. And if it's an audience, it's a little mellower, and you're a
yeah.
high energy, and you come on a high energy, they're going to sit back
gonna be
in their
like-
chairs, and they're going to like go. It's going to take them a while to relax. So
Yeah.
you've
They're
got to
gonna be
know the
intense.
energy in the room. And people that go, "Oh, I'm going to bring up the energy." Well, okay, go ahead. Try
Yeah,
it.
you
You
gotta know
can
your
do
group.
it, but you
gotta
got
know
to
your-
start off a
Right.
little slow. You can't come out and be.
You got to know
I
your
did
definitely know your
a
group.
women's women's food forum, and there was all these women speakers, and there was a couple of guys that came and spoke and stuff. And this one guy cracked me up. He goes, "In my headset, can I go off stage a little bit?" And I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely." And he's like, "Okay, so when I'm at the corner of that row, just turn my mic on." I was like, "All right."
That's great.
So I turned him on, and he's like, "Ladies and gentlemen, coming to the stage right now," and introduces himself, and he
love
pops up
that.
on stage, and he's like, "Hello, everyone." And I'm like, "Oh, this guy's great. This is going to be fun."
Yeah.
Like, he introduced himself as he's walking up,
kinda
and
fun.
everyone is cracking up.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
he's talking about himself.
Yeah.
This is, so it is
Yeah,
great.
that's good. That's good. It's
Yeah.
Well, and I
Yeah.
love what you did with my introduction. You broke it in half because an
Yeah.
introduction should only be like 50,
Yeah.
75 words.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you have to understand that the host or the podcaster, whatever, they've already vetted you. They want you on. They've looked at all your stuff, and so they're vetting you, and they're giving you the thumbs up that this is somebody you need to hear. And if I am spending time while you're reading a page of she graduated from Sacramento State
We ain't going
University
there.
and
I'm not going-
communications
I get
degree,
those,
you
but
know?
I'm not going there.
Yeah.
Unless it's something that pertains to
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
I try to get the highlights. And,
Yeah.
And we have started splitting it up because I kind of like to throw the little teaser out there so we can
No,
be
that's-
like,
that's
hey,
perfect.
you need to stay here to listen to this person today.
Yeah.
Don't take off after those sponsors
Yes.
that noted, right? We love our sponsors, but stay here.
Well, and I always
Right?
say, have someone do a video introduction for you.
Yeah.
Put a video together and have a really great introduction, and that does it for you. And then you just run on, and it's 45 seconds or
Yeah.
something. There's music to it. It gets the energy up in the room, and then you come on. But if I have somebody who, my guest today has been an event producer for, I mean, the whole
They need
energy.
to call me because that's my gift, emceeing. They
Yeah.
need to call me for those
Yeah,
bios.
it's just, or they
Yeah.
say something wrong,
Sure.
or it's just, I don't like it. I like to get up, and then there are the people that don't read the introduction, which, well, I know this person for a long time, and
So they
we
just get
met
up
years
and
ago,
start
and they
talking.
start talking and blah, blah, and it doesn't say, like, who you are and why you're there.
Right.
Like, why I'm here. I did 30 years as an event producer. That's my why you kind of thing. So if you're not saying that in my intro, just because we're friends and we met at a networking thing,
Right.
and Cheryl Powers introduced us and said we need to meet, so you need to meet Toni. Like,
Yeah.
okay.
Nobody's like, who's
Then we
that?
have
Yeah,
to
yeah.
dig deep and spend time trying to figure out why is she here.
Yeah. Good stuff. This has been fun.
It has been a lot of fun.
I think we need to ask her a couple fun questions before
Okay.
we wrap
Okay.
this
I
up. What
love
do you
it.
think? Because I think this has been great. You gave a lot of good info today. So
I hope
for
I
all-
didn't, not too much.
No. I think this is great because, listen, we talked about it at the beginning. It's
Yeah.
the number one fear. A lot of people fear speaking, and a lot of people have to do it. And whether they're doing little one-on-one presentations or in a group, they're still speaking, and they got to get comfortable with all these pieces that are involved. So you said a lot of really good stuff.
All right, thank you.
So do you want
Wanna
to start?
make
You got a
sure
fun
your
question real
audience-
quick,
I
and then
do,
we'll wrap it.
because she does events and she's
I know, I
worked with
figured
all
you
these
got
people.
something.
I have to know, who was your first concert?
My first concert was Rod Stewart at the Cow Palace in San Francisco.
Nice.
Yeah, very first one.
Rod
And my mother always said, you can't go to concerts because it's all drugs and stuff. And I remember walking through the parking lot. It was with I was in college, so walking through the parking lot, and people were like going, cocaine, marijuana. And I'm like, oh my God, Mom was right.
Mom was right. She didn't lie.
Yeah, I'll never forget, my parents took me to a concert when I was very young. And we went and saw, the first one was Kiss, because I really wanted to go see Kiss because I just liked the makeup. And I got in trouble when we were there because my grandfather at the time would smoke pot every once in a while. And I remember going, "Hey, Mom, it smells like Grandpa's house." And my mom was like, and I was like, oh, whoa, maybe I shouldn't have said that. I didn't. What did I say wrong? What did I?
See, and in our family, we lived in Sacramento, so we went to Tahoe a lot. So we saw Bill Cosby, and we saw Frank Sinatra, and we saw and all the dinner shows, Donnie and Marie Osmond, So those were concerts, but they weren't like your first concert is your concert.
I would have given anything to go see Frank Sinatra.
Yeah,
that would have been amazing.
Yeah.
Fun. All right. Who's the coolest person you've ever worked with?
The coolest person. Well, I worked with Tina Turner, and I think that's pretty dang cool.
Yeah, that's pretty dang cool.
I wanted you to say that.
Yeah,
because I didn't know that till
amazing.
today either.
Yeah.
Look, every time we do a show, we learn something new, do we not? I learned something new about Chloe, and I learned something new about my guest.
And I also had George Clooney get me drunk on my 35th birthday, so that was kind of cool.
Well, yeah, who hasn't?
I wasn't his type, but
I love it, his award ceremony for...
Oh, I love that.
When Tina Fey goes, so George Clooney married Amal, I can't remember, and she is an international, wins all these awards, and yet today we're celebrating George Clooney.
Yeah.
I
thought that was hysterical.
That was hysterical.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
That was so funny.
That's great. Do you have another question?
You go ahead. I think I'll have one here in just a second.
All right, I'm going to ask one more fun one. Okay, so this is one of my favorites. What's in your Amazon cart?
Nothing.
You have nothing in your Amazon cart.
No,
I'm impressed.
I'm not a big Amazon
I'm
girl.
impressed.
I like to go out and
like to
buy
shop?
things from a store and take it home now.
That's good.
And my wife loves that about me because I love to shop.
Oh, see?
I like to shop.
Y'all are all my shoppers. Y'all are all my shoppers because I'm not a shopper. I am the Amazon junkie.
She's like, I'm going to the at-home store. I was like, ooh,
I was like,
she's
can we go? Can I go?
She's like, you want to go? I was like, yeah.
No, Home Goods.
We go Home
Oh
Goods.
my gosh, you
Home
guys
Goods.
would all be
man.
instant friends.
Oh yeah, I find all kinds of stuff there.
Okay, and in Prosper, there's a place called Shelf Up. It's a brand new place right next to Home Goods. And Pop Shelf. That's the name of it. And it's got all kinds of, I love stationery and things like that. It's got journals and pens and all this stuff. But it has something for everybody there. And it's like $3 for this and $5 for that. So you go and you spend $20 and you're like, oh, I got all this stuff.
It's so
That's
awesome.
awesome.
That's
I
awesome.
love that kind of stuff.
Look, we both said awesome this time.
They're
You're using my word.
awesome.
You're taking my word. Don't do that.
Amazing.
Amazing.
You need a new word.
Super duper.
You can have 100% now because I'm not using that one. You can have that one.
100%. So, what is your craziest or funniest behind the scenes experience?
Craziest or funniest?
She's like, I got to think about this one.
I don't think I have a crazy one. Funniest. God, nothing comes to mind.
I think the
Isn't
George
that
Clooney
weird?
thing's pretty funny.
that
Yeah,
is,
but
yeah, that
I'm
was
talking
pretty funny.
behind the scenes. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right, I do have one. When I worked for Tina Turner, Tina was doing her private dancer concert at Universal Studios. And at the time, this is the 80s, and I'm wearing like a men's tuxedo kind of outfit because that was kind of in at the time, And I'm standing in line to go into the bathroom backstage. And I have two guys in front of me. There's only like two bathrooms, unisex, whatever, and you're standing in line. And the two guys turn around to me and they say, who you driving? And I looked at them and I go, excuse me? And they go, who you driving? And I go, I'm sorry. He goes, well, we got backstage passes because we sold the most Pepsi and Coke in our Ralph's grocery stores. And so we won these 2 tickets. So we're just wondering, who's the celebrity you were driving? I said, I'm not driving anyone. They go, you're not a chauffeur? And I go, no. And they went, well, how'd you get backstage? I go, I'm Tina Turner's assistant. And they looked at it and they just turned white.
They're like,
and they turned around. I mean, it's like one of my favorite things. Like, yeah, we sold Coke and Pepsi, and we,
You're like,
and I'm like,
I'm Tina Turner's
yeah,
assistant.
yeah. And this is the style today, not
So
the jeans
funny.
and t-shirts you're wearing.
So funny. That's so great.
That is a good
This has
one.
been so
I hadn't
much
thought
fun.
about that for a while, so thank you for bringing
Absolutely,
it back.
that's awesome.
This has been fun, Toni. So what I want to ask you is if our audience wants to get in touch with you, if learn a little bit more about eWomen, the speaking, all of that, where do we want to send them?
I would go to eWomenNetwork.com. It's all one word.
Okay.
And if you want to know about the Speaker Network, go into resources and just click on Speaker Network. Or if you want to contact me, just go to the North Dallas Plano chapter, and you can connect with me there.
Awesome.
Love to talk to you.
We'll make sure when this goes out too, we'll get all the
Awesome.
links and get it in the right
Awesome.
place, get you tagged or whatever we
Yeah.
need to do with that. So this has been fun.
It's been great. Thank you
Good
for
stuff.
having me. I really appreciate
It's
it.
fun chatting with you. So I got my notes today, and that's only because my brain has a lapse. Every time I have to get to like one piece, I'm like, what was the ending again? I say the same thing every week. We do want to say to our audience, of course, if you enjoy our show, please be sure you give us a rating both on iTunes and Facebook. We can't do this without you. Hit that subscribe button on the YouTube. And as always, we're going to leave you with the parting thought. In order to live the extraordinary, you must start. Every start begins with a decision. You guys take care, be safe, be kind to one another. We will see you next time.